I read 14 books during the month of November, and it's actually so wild that it is now December. Now, this video is gonna be coming after it's gonna be coming before you guys see the reading vlog where I read a lot of these books. So I don't wanna talk too much about these, but I will talk about some of them that I've already talked about in other vlogs, and also a few that I haven't even talked about in the vlogs. So we're just gonna go through these. Comment below the book that you love the most in the month of November and the book that you dislike the most. I would love to hear your thoughts. The first book that I read in the month, I'm pretty sure, was James by Percival Everett. This is a book that I was expecting a lot from because so many people who've read it really enjoyed it, and it absolutely delivered. This book is a book I think everyone should read in school. I think that if you've read Huckleberry Finn or you're familiar with like Tom Sawyer and all of the classic stories that I feel like so many of us have read in the past, like in school, you definitely need to read James. If you haven't read Huckleberry Finn, I don't know if I would necessarily say go pick up James, just because I think this story is even more powerful because I know like the classic tale. And if I didn't know like the story, I don't know if it would have the same exact impact. I think I'd still enjoy it, but it wouldn't have the same impact. I am really excited to tell more people about this book because, again, it's one of those books that I feel everyone in school needs to be reading. It was the story of Huckleberry Finn, and it's told from Jim's perspective, who changed his name to James, and I really, really loved it. It was such an incredible read. Now, I don't think this story will be for everyone, but I really enjoyed it myself. And then I also read Blood Moon. Now, this book is one... Well, actually, before I talk about Blood Moon, I ended up reading The Room Next Door, and I listened to that versus like reading in a physical sense, and that was the first book that I've actually just purely listened to that had like background noises and all the things, and it was so enjoyable. I don't know what I expected. I think because it was something I knew was going to be dramatized, I expected it to just kind of be like a traditional audiobook, but it was so much more, and I definitely want to read more books or listen to more audiobooks that have that like background noise and like the sound effects, because it really made the story come even more alive. It was a great thriller, and it was also the first and only like Audible audiobook that I've listened to that's like only on Audible, like an Audible original, and it was really, really good. It had Julia Whelan as the actress, or not actress, but the voice actress, or voice narrator, I guess, like what's the word? I really loved her telling the story, and she's done like Happy Place and other really popular books. So again, it made the story definitely come alive. And then I read Blood Moon. This is by Britney Lewis. This is the story of, it kind of gives like a mix between Vampire Diaries and Twilight. This story, I expected to like it a little bit more than I did, but I ended up being obsessed with the story by the end of it. I think the start was a slow start, but once I got to the end, I was like, okay, I really need to figure out what's gonna happen with this story. There was so much tension in this, and it definitely gives that like romantic-y type of vibe, because obviously they're vampires, and I really love the romance in this. I just feel that the story was almost told more than shown, and I feel like sometimes that can make a story drag on a little bit, but I can see how the author is setting up the story for a second book. Like, it's very obvious. So I feel like the second book is going to be even better. I think I rated this one 3 or 3.5 stars. I can't remember exactly, but it's a book I would recommend, but I would recommend knowing that you're going to read the next book, because I feel like the romance in this was amazing, and the tension was amazing between them. Towards the end, it really like just was picking up so fast that I just was like, I cannot put this down. But towards the beginning, it took a while for me to like really get into. And then I also read Holiday with the Carters, and I don't have the physical book because I genuinely don't even know what I did with it. If you guys have listened to the recent podcast episode, this week has been so wild, and so I feel like I am a little scrambled in the brain right now. But I read Holiday with the Carters. It's a Thanksgiving story. I think I could have went without reading it, only because it continues the story from Bambi by Lady Nisha, and I've never read that book. And it said that at the beginning of the book, it was like, this is a continuation, you should read Bambi first. And I was just like, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't really need to read it first. It's fine. It's just a novella. It's a Thanksgiving vibe. It's gonna be good. And I was kind of confused in some points just because I didn't know the characters. And I will definitely go back and read Bambi by Lady Nisha. I just wanted to read a Thanksgiving book, and that was the only one that I had on my list to read. And so I just knew, like, if I read Bambi at some point throughout the year, I'm not going to pick up that Thanksgiving book until next Thanksgiving, so I just wanted to read it. But I think I would have connected more with the story if I actually knew the characters and knew kind of like the story that they were picking up from. But I definitely will continue to read her books, and I actually have Bambi on my TBR to read because Lady Nisha is like such an incredible author. She's one of the funniest authors I think I've ever read from. And then I read The Best Worst Thing, this book, 5 freaking stars. I cannot stop thinking about this. It's a story about a woman who is going through infertility and struggling with that with her husband, and they end up finding a carrier, so she's gonna do like a what's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, she's gonna have a carrier who's going to carry her embryo, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And come to find out, her husband is cheating on her. All this is on the back of the book. Come to find out, her husband's cheating on her, so she has to decide, does she stay with this man? Because obviously they're bringing life into the world. Is this woman going to be able to come to full term because she's had some complications with, you know, other things in the past? Or does she want to lean into someone new that kind of popped up, that she had a little bit of like interest for in the past? So this is just like a really good story. I feel like I love romances that have other things that the characters are working through, and this definitely could have been a contemporary fiction just because there are so many other themes throughout the story. But I think because the romance was so prominent, it made sense that they put it in the romance genre. But it made me really excited to read more romances like this because I feel like these are my favorite types of romances to pick up. And then I got into my Christmas mood, and like the rest of the books that I picked up were literally like Christmas books. I read Just a Taste by Anie, and I'm actually glad that this was the first book that I read that was like Christmassy, because it was so good that it genuinely just felt like an actual book. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll read a Christmas book and you're like, okay, like it's fun, but like I don't know, it's like it's not a real book. Like it just feels like someone just whipped something together to like make some extra money during the holiday season. This felt like a actual book. It's about a girl who gets snowed in with this guy that she like actually cannot stand, and you see them have to have a lot of forced proximity because some things happen in the house that make them have to get close together. It's a really good book. It's a good book, and I have read, this is my second book by this author, and I really loved it. So yeah, you should definitely read this one. I also read Saint and the Queen by Desiree. This was a really unique story, and I love Desiree's books, and I hope that there's a second book to this. It would be cool to see a continuation. But it's about a guy who's just like a regular guy from Atlanta. Santa Claus comes to him and is like, hey, you're about to be the next Santa Claus. And he's like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, absolutely not. I'm just a regular guy. And he's like, yeah, you're about to be Santa Claus. And then there's another girl who they're like, yeah, you are now the queen. You are Mrs. Claus. You are, you know, this person who's going to make Christmas happen. And she's just like so confused, and they have to kind of figure out how to make that work. So I love this because it was very magical. It had romance in it, and it wasn't too magical where it's like, you know, anything like, it felt realistic because like they're just real people in the real world, and Santa comes to them and is like, you have to take over my job. I'm about to retire. And it's a really good book. I really love this one. I think I rated this one 4 stars. And then I read If This Was a Movie by Morgan Elizabeth. Morgan Elizabeth's books I always know are going to be pretty spicy, and I read some reviews for this one, and initially, like before I got into it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like it because some of the reviews are saying that the guy's controlling. I didn't feel like that at all. I love this book. I feel like this is a Christmas book I will definitely recommend. It was really cute. It had a really good storyline. I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and it's one of those stories where the main character like has always done everything on her own, and someone comes along and is like, hey, let me help you, like you don't have to do life by yourself, like I'll, you know, be there for you. And she's having her walls broken down to trust someone. And I love stories like that because I feel like as an independent girly, I struggle to let people help me or let people in because I don't want to be disappointed, and you can definitely see that in this story. I also read Guess Who's Coming for Christmas by Shae Marie. This was a spicy one, a very, very spicy one. And I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, but it was wild. If you like Octavia Grant's books, like her thrillers, pick this book up because it gives like a similar vibe. The way the book starts out is actually unreal. Like it's wild, like so wild. It's about a girl who gets dumped by her boyfriend, and after she gets dumped, a guy who's like super rich, he wants to take her on a holiday getaway, but it's kind of like forbidden because of the relationship that they have with each other. So she has to decide if she wants to go. I would love to see this book continued. I looked at the back of it and it said that another book was coming. It said Too Many Strings was coming, and it's like I don't know if it's continuation or what, but I was like, oh, okay, I definitely want to read this. So I went to go pick it up. It's not out. So I don't know if this is like a new book or what. And then I went to look to see if there's more books that connect with these characters, and there's not. I need to hear more of what happens in this story. It almost feels like it left in a way where it's like open-ended so they could continue the story, and I cannot wait to read that one. I read Effing Under the Mistletoe by Anie. This book was so good. I actually was surprised by how little effing was done in this book, which I am not mad about. It's just like I was expecting it to be spicier than it actually was. I also feel like Anie's books usually don't have, like they have spice, but it's like not overtaking the story, which is what I like. That's my wheelhouse. And this is about a girl who has a terrible boyfriend. He's literally the worst, and she's trying to decide if she wants to stay with him or not. And then someone from her past kind of comes up and is like, hey, I can actually treat you better than this guy. Like, why are you holding out for him? And so that's kind of like the whole storyline. It was really good. Obviously, you guys can tell that I'm kind of like congested a little bit. We've been around our nieces and nephew all weekend, and they're all like very young, like 6, 4, 3, 2. And I swear, little kids, it's like every time I see them, they have a runny nose, they have a cough, they have something, and I usually get like sick once or twice a year, and it's always from one of them, like every single time. So anyway, I got like a little congestion thing from one of them, and anyway, that's why I'm like a little congested. But I also read The Plight Before Christmas. This is such a funny book. It is so good. What I really liked about this book is the characters. They're reconnecting after like years of being apart. And the main guy character, he's like, hey, I remember this girl was super ambitious and she was super, like had all these goals. Like what happened? Like her life is so much different now. And I don't know, I feel like that really stuck with me because so often when we're kids, we can have these big, grand ideas of what we want life to look like. And then we almost forget that it's possible. And, there was a scene in this where the main character guy was talking to the girl's brother, and he's just like, yeah, she got a desk job. Like, it's just, that's the way things panned out. Like, life didn't really work out how she expected. And you can see that the main guy character in this has so much admiration for her, but he also is someone that like believes in her. And that's, I don't know, just really what encapsulates this entire story. I also like that there was like a little subplot where the sister of the main character girl, her and her husband are kind of like struggling a little bit. So you're seeing like different like things happening within the romance as well. And I really love this. It was very funny. And I'll definitely read more books from Kate Stewart. Another book I read was Grace and Henry's Holiday Movie Marathon. This might be my favorite Christmas book of the year. I think the reason why I love this so much is because it talked about grief in a way that felt very real. Both characters are widows. They both lost the loves of their life, and they have decided to reconnect, or not reconnect because this is their first time meeting, but they decided to get together and watch holiday movies kind of in remembrance of their spouses, because one of the characters would watch them with their spouse, and you see them start to build like a love and like feelings and all the things for each other, but they're like, do I want to do that? Like, we already lost people that were important to us. Like, do we want to even be vulnerable again and open our heart? And it just felt very real. One of the characters has kids, and you know, you're seeing her try to navigate all of her feelings while, you know, still having kids and stuff in her home. And it's just, it's really, really cute. I rated this one 4 stars. Again, this is probably my favorite Christmas book of the year. It's very sad, but not sad in the sense that it's like you're constantly getting like trauma after trauma. It's just like the reality of like the holiday season not being happy for everyone is very evident in this book. And if you're someone who's went through grief, or you're just struggling during the holiday season and it doesn't feel like a happy, joyous time for you, this could be a book that you'd really love. I also read Santa's Little Pleasers, and this is probably one of my favorite novellas, at least so far. It's super spicy, so keep that in mind. It's about a group of guys who are in college, and they decide that they're gonna create an app where they basically allow women who are over 40 to ask for all of their naughtiest, wildest Christmas dreams in the bedroom, and they will fulfill those, and they're gonna make money from it. And it's not a romance at all. It's literally just like a funny book, and they're like going on all these like, you know, dates, and well, not dates, but like they're going to these people's houses and like giving them all their wildest dreams. And some of the things are like so funny. Like one lady, she really likes like elderly men, so she wanted this guy to like role play being like old, and he has this like beard and stuff, and it's like, it's just funny. It's funny. Lady Nisha, I think she is the best at funny books. So pick this one up if you want a book to laugh at. And then I read Feast. This is a book that has a lot of trauma in it. The characters are going through a lot of things, and so don't think you're gonna go into this book just expecting like a cutesy read. It definitely has a lot of hard topics in it. It's very spicy as well. It's one of those books where I don't necessarily know I needed to read. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It just was what it was. It was a very easy read though, because the words are huge. So keep that in mind. I've actually been really loving Christmas books lately, which is surprising. I think a large part of it is because anytime I'm going through like a harder season of life, happy books or books that'll like put a smile on my face are always my favorite. And so because they're so short, I feel like I can finish them really fast and get on to the next one and get another laugh. So it's been making my absolute like, it's been making my holiday season be so enjoyable. So I hope your holiday season has been good so far and will continue to be good. Obviously this is the first day of Bookmas in a sense, but really I feel like Bookmas is more like vlogs, and so you guys will get a long vlog coming on Saturday, and I'm really excited to have more like Christmassy long videos for you guys. It's just gonna be a really fun season. So I definitely want to know the book that you love the most in November and the book that you disliked the most. Put it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.